A man, I'm only half a man. You know I'm only half a man. Baby, since you've been gone,
Bellow on the beat.
since you I'm only half a man. You know I'm only half a man. Baby, since you've been gone, since you I'm only half a man. You know I'm only half a man. Baby, since you've been gone, since you I'm only half a man. You know I'm only half a man. Baby, since you've been gone, half a man. I'm only half a man. You know I'm only half a man. Baby, since you've been gone,
Bellow on the beat.
since you
Yeah, the real shop talk. Just come and take a listen. Some grown men with unbiased and honest opinions, and with no agendas, so you just gotta check it. Talking love and life from a male perspective. We keep it authentic, real, no filter. Leave a comment, be part of the show. We here to give you 5 gentlemen's views about manhood, no doubt. This the show you've been needing, yeah, it's the real shop talk. Let's go. Hey.
Hey, everybody, we back. I know y'all noticed we're missing one man, Mr. Tony Massey. He is on vacay. You know, we wish we could have jumped on the plane with him, but
right.
He's definitely here even when he's not. So I'm taking the helm today. So what I want to do first and foremost is thank you guys for coming. If some of you are come back, we welcome you back. Anybody new, we welcome you. Replay viewers, we love you too. In the comments, make sure you guys, tonight is one of those nights where if you never commented before, we got some funny topics, some cringy topics, some triggering topics. We got all kind of topics tonight, things that we found on the net. Make sure you comment, make sure you share, invite. Let me put up the website here. 1 second here, guys. Make sure you go to realshoptalk.net, subscribe on the YouTube page. Click the bell, click subscribe. Make sure you get the notifications every week so you don't miss it. And, you know, tonight is going to be interesting, like I said, because it's going to be our each separate opinions. I don't even know what these guys going to say, but I know we got a lot of value coming your way. So I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to start with myself. If you haven't been here before, my name is Derek Jones. I'm a certified life relationship coach, also host of the Relationship Gumbo podcast. And I'm going to leave it there. I just want, we're about to get it in tonight, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pass it over to my man, Gunter Man.
Hey, what's up, guys? I am a relationship life coach. I'm the host of the Gunter Man Show every Thursday night at 7:30 on Instagram Live at Soapbox Stand Up and Speak. Let's do it. Come on, guys.
Yeah, man. Yo, we got to shout out Derek Jones, that episode 100. It was epic, legendary, nothing but a party. Shout out to episode 100.
That's right. I thank you guys. Thank you. Everybody who came, everybody that will come. Just go to that same website. The link is still on there for that as well. Just come out, go check that episode out. It's a lot of great information, a lot of fun to be had, and we're building our community. Go ahead, Mr. Watts.
Well, I am Tony Watts. I am the relationship and host of Triumphant TV. We're here to bring you some entertainment this evening or some trending topics on the social web. We will be talking about things that's going to trigger you. So come along, bring your comments, put them all into the thing. I don't really talk like this, but hey, let's have fun. Let's go.
That accent ain't working for me, brother.
Not at all.
I'm going to implore you not to talk like that the rest of the show, please.
I wish I had 4 hands so I could give that accent 4 thumbs down.
It was a valiant attempt, though. We appreciate the effort. So, guys, we're gonna get started. I have a few some video. I have like a slide just to kind of represent what it is for each one, so we know what we're talking about each time. So I'm gonna, at random, I'm gonna just pick something light to start with. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the panel, play the video in this instance, and then on the other side of it, we're going to give our reactions, and I'll kind of frame questions around it if need be. So let's start with this one here, which I'll preface with it's a couple that got married and some people didn't show up and they wanted their money back. So we about to get this one in. So stand by.
Couple is stirring up a debate online over a post-wedding decision.
This is wild. The newlyweds decided to send invoices to the guests who said they were coming and never showed. Here's a picture of the document that was sent out. The groom, Doug Simmons, shared it on his Facebook page. He calls the guests no call, no shows, sending them a bill for $240. They were given 1 month to pay via Zelle or PayPal. Doug told the New York Post he sent out the invoice as a way to hold his guests accountable. He said his wedding was in Jamaica, so there was no excuse not to notify them about attendance.
I would agree that there is no excuse, but to send them an invoice,
Bit much.
Jug's probably not very well liked.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say something, but I want John Singletary's opinion on just your raw opinion about what you just saw.
Man, so I'm torn because LJ's mom wanted to pull out the stops.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and I mean, we had to pay for them plates, and people think they just gonna waltz in and out and just show. Like they be on you, like, yo, I want an invite to the wedding. You got to make sure you invite me. Man, when I was in Las Vegas, one of my troops, man, she pulled up on me. She said, if I give you this invite and you coming to my wedding, you better be there. I know what your car is. I'm going to slash your tires if you don't show up. So I get the angst, but, I probably wouldn't win as far as the invoice, but I ain't even mad at them because people want to be a part of that and they don't even know what all goes into it. Like, man, it costs paper to put one of them things together. So
yeah,
I ain't mad.
Yeah. Hey, Gunter Man.
Yeah, I'm definitely not mad at all because it costs a pretty penny. I do high-end events all over the United States, so I know how much it costs my clientele. Woo, that's some serious money. So for you to say that you come in and you not come, I understand the pain. I don't know if I would send an invoice because I shouldn't be having a wedding that's outside of my means of ability to pay for it all comfortably. But it's a good topic to talk about. Like, this is like dead serious. Like, come on. Like this, you say you coming to my wedding, bro. I'm making an investment per person. You got to pay per person. And now you're not coming and I just had to pay. And you don't have to send anything to me. A toaster, you sending me a toaster? No. A Hamilton toaster on top of that? A Hamilton toaster. You sending me that? That's nah. I got a problem with that.
Tony Watts.
Can't hear you, T.
It's kind of messed up. I'm with everybody else. It's kind of messed up not to show up for somebody's wedding, especially if they invited you, because you kind of narrow that whole list down to like exclude people, right? So somebody you excluded might have showed up. But I'm kind of curious, like if they charged $240, like what was the plate? $70 a piece? Like how much did you really pay for that wedding? So
destination wedding. So it costs a little something.
But for $240, was that one person? Was that two people? Like I don't know. But hey. To each his own. I'm not sure I can send somebody an invoice. It depends. Like Rick said, if you can't afford it, man, don't do it.
Yeah. I'll say I'm torn too because I was talking to my wife about it earlier, and I was like, they sent them an invoice, and she was like y'all was saying, she was like, I don't blame them, but it's like it's tough because when you doing this wedding planning, like everybody was saying. And then they give you that price per plate, and you like, oh, dang, okay, we might have to narrow these numbers down. We pay, especially. See, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It hurts even more when you paying for your own wedding too, right? Versus how it used to be, where the parents might have paid, they might have gave you like a lump sum, was like, go ahead. But when it's coming out your pocket. And you spend it, like, unfortunately, people be spending they spend their last on it, and then it hurts even more. I hope that like the Tony Watts was saying, I hope that $240 wasn't per person, because I'm like, what are y'all doing? But people spend what they spend. Like I had a destination wedding, and they had tiered packages. They probably got the one that was way up here. They probably didn't had like an ice swan and some other crap going on, and the thing, and the cake probably was ridiculous. So, and they make the cake based on how many people, so it's still, to me, I would think sending them an invoice is kind of tacky. They might have got some words. I might have been a little pissed, but I don't know if the whole invoice pay me within 30 days. I I don't know. It's kind of weird.
But it's still kind of fun, like to be true. Like it's still kind of fun, like because if the person attended, you'll be out the $240 anyway. You'll be out. So if they attended, you're out of it anyways. But they didn't attend. The only thing you could kind of wait is like I could have invited someone else. Right. I could have had someone else in your spot.
Yeah.
But that money still would have been lost.
Well, I'm gonna read a couple of comments real quick, and then we're gonna keep it moving because we got a few more things to go through. G.I. Hurt says that's ghetto. That's like handing out collection envelopes upon entry. LaShawn Daniel Drew says, you getting an invoice. I lost out twice. I didn't get a gift and you didn't show. Yeah, very true.
That's
very
it.
True.
Let them know. Let them know, LaShawn.
Very, very true. Fiel Marie Lewis says, I just send my check through the mail. Kidding. I agree with Rick. Be able to pay for what's yours. Yeah. G.I. Hurt says, I think you have to know who you're inviting. Are they normally flaky? Yeah, people. Yeah, it kind of sucks because the part that sucks the most is not only did you didn't show, but you didn't say you wasn't coming. Like you didn't say, hey, you know what? I won't be able to make it. I know it's like a week out or whatever, but something came up. For you to not even do that, and we sitting there like, dang, where did they miss the plane? Like nothing, no call, no show. Yeah, I'd be salty. G.I. Hurt says,
what if we
why not add that into the cost of the room because that's an option? Yeah. I don't know. It's fun and it's funny to say that you sent the invoice, but I don't know if I could personally do it. Unfortunately, a lot of people when people don't show up, depending on how you have it set up, you gotta take the L. Like you're like, okay, we spent $20,000 on the wedding. If that's the price. If somebody don't show up, we still out the $20,000.
That's right.
And that's I don't know, man.
Well, before you land to go somewhere else, right? So, as a cultural thing, when other cultures get married, they don't really have to worry about that because they get it back in their persons.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We gotta, maybe that's the area we need to step up in. We need to step up when there's weddings that we go in, kind of show some appreciation that they're getting married and try to help them go towards the future. So yeah, that's just a thought.
Yeah, there's a lot of cultures that come with cash, like in hand.
But see, the thing with that is that if marriages are now ending at 50%, you're investing. What if the person gets married again? How many times are you going to invest in every wedding the brother's going to do?
Real quick, I had the first marriage. It was I'm from the DMV area, but my ex-wife was from Mississippi, and we had to all fly down there, right? And the marriage lasted like a year and a half. So my boys was hitting me up like, can I get a refund on my money?
That's right.
And I was like, I didn't know. They was like, I flew down there. I done got a hotel room. He was like,
I bought you a Cuisinart. I want that back.
Yeah, right. They was like, y'all didn't even get to 5 years. And can I get my money back? Yeah, man. People on both sides of the fence, like you think about, and I don't even know, like the people who didn't show, did they pay for the plane tickets and the room and all? I don't know. It's a lot, but the invoice thing, I don't know if I would have sent the invoice. I probably would have called them and been like, look, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and do the whole invoice, typing it all out and all of that. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
But it's fun.
I definitely would be making some phone calls at the very minimum. I'd be like, yo, it's a problem. Let me see this last comment. Yeah, Hurt says, nah, I'd be ticked off and never invite him to my dog's birthday party. Yeah, I'd be hot. Because, like I said, some people can absorb it and not feel it, and some other people can't. And I think the people that, you spending your last trying to make it work, trying to make it beautiful and all of that. And I know the principle, even if you had it, it's still the principle. But I'm saying when it's your last, it extra hurt. That saltiness is an extra salty. So we're gonna Yeah, Hurt says dowry, guys. It's a dowry. So yeah. So moving right along, we're gonna go to this next one, and I will caution you that there are a couple of colorful words here. And we did do a show last week about alpha male and beta male, so this kind of a little bit touches on that. But I want you guys to see this particular individual and how he thinks. Then we're going to talk about whether what he thinks is common or not, or what this really means, and how do we counteract. I don't know. We can talk about it on the other end. I want you guys to hear it first. So here it goes. Stand by.
Why is it that even beautiful women, bad bitches, are single today? It's simple. Feminism. Feminism taught you women that you a queen, you God's gift to this earth, you the prize. No, the fuck you ain't. No, you ain't. You ain't a queen. You ain't never gonna be my queen because you ain't my mother. You don't love me unconditionally. You love me under conditions. And the problem is that I'm a man. I'm a leader. I'm the toxic asshole guy, the tool, right? Because when we go out, right, you expect me to take care of you, right? When we go out, I pay for it. You good. We go to the store. Here, get some shoes. You good. I got you. But when I tell you to do something, do it. That's the problem. Don't expect me to chase you and beg you and get on my knees, bro. I'm not submissive. I'm dominant. And then what happens is, I don't want to be with that. He's toxic, he's bad. Your friends tell you he's a bad guy, right? Then you go be with the nice guy and you end up cheating on him or leaving him because he's weak. He don't make you feel nothing. He don't blow the back. That's the problem. You're the problem. You're delusional.
wait.
Dominant.
I'm gonna let whoever want to go first on this one go.
I'll start off with, where's the love in all of that? Where's the love in all of that?
Man, listen.
Emptiness. He stepped up to the platform and showed his emptiness.
He showed how hurt he is with his little self.
Like he's been through some stuff.
Yeah. Showed how hurt he is.
Tony Watts, what you think?
He showed how hurt he is. Like all that. You go get a nice guy, you cheat on him. Obviously, you used to be the nice guy, you got cheated on, and now your new talking points is over there, up the dial with the masculine guy that makes 6 figures, and this is what you got to do now, right? Now you played yourself out of pocket. Now you on here on social media, yelling at the camera, trying to show how bad you are. Stop it. Not fooling nobody but yourself, son. Come over to the Real Shop Talk. We'll tell you how to be a man.
That's right. John Singletary, what you think?
Man, yo, there's layers to that. There's layers to that. It was definitely performative.
Yeah.
That was aimed at an audience of one. There was definitely somebody specific that he was talking to. He was not talking to every woman. There was a specific woman that could not care less about how he felt. And that's why he was hollering. But disclaimer, I don't agree with anything he said, but there was an interesting narrative. You go with a good guy and you cheat on him because you're bored and this, that, and other. It's kind of a dive into psychology, and he showed his, but he touched on something, and it's something to think about. But I don't think I would have thought about it or even been, exposed to it if it wasn't for you bringing it on the show. Because I don't know where he resides, but wherever that is, I wouldn't have been paying attention. But my man's hurt. He's hurt. So
yeah,
there's some positive healing energy his way, brother. Prayers to you.
Okay, so this is when I saw this, right? I paid attention to a couple things, right? Because we talked about a lot bit about this last week, and all the bravado, like we said last week. If you gotta claim I'm dominant, if you gotta claim I'm alpha male, you're not really living that life. And I guarantee you that if a pretty girl walks down the street, all that dominant is going away. He gonna do whatever he got to do to get it. And the way that it is that I had the video kind of inside that little cell phone or whatever, the room that he was in, the stuff that he had in that room.
Oh,
there's no way that he's affording to take care of nothing. Barely himself.
You and I think alike, bro. I was like, oh, I didn't look at the background to see what was behind him when he was talking all that stuff, because that speaks volume. That speaks volumes.
Yeah,
Heck
he had a curtain that's supposed to have a rod, and he just tacked it up. He had like a sheet over the couch and all, and no shade to anybody that, but I'm just saying, if you talking all of that, I'm taking care of everything. Where? I don't, and I know that may not be a measure of how much he makes, but you can kind of you can look at this dude and tell where he's really about. He wasn't trying to prove that to anybody. He was trying to prove that to himself. And that's why I always tell about people with all that bravado. Who are you trying to prove it to? You or somebody else, or are you trying to prove it to yourself that you had to keep saying, I'm dominant. Nobody believes you, sir. There's not, like, I'm a grown man. We know some tough guys. I don't, what he was giving me was, and I hate to say it, he was giving me wife beater vibes. Like, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna turn up on you. That's what I felt from that. But again, I don't think it was real. I think it was performative, right? I think he was doing it to kind of maybe get some clicks or whatever. But I will say this. It's a lot of guys out here spewing this stuff, man.
But John said it best, though. He was really talking to one person. He's talking to that person that broke his heart. Like, because if you listen to everything he said, he never really said I am. He's like, so we go out, I gotta pay for this. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. So when we get home, when I tell you to do, you gotta do it. Like, all of that. It's just none of it made sense.
Yeah, it's definitely how unfortunately when people do this and people are like, who hurt you or whatever. But I feel like that men that behave like this, everything comes from a place, right? And I'm gonna get to some of the comments. It's hard because we know it comes from a place like somebody hurt him. Now he has to prove to the world that he's not hurt. So he has to put a mask on. That's all it really is. It's a mask. When you see these dudes with the rah-rah masculine and you're not, and you're beta and I'm alpha, and you better do what I say, woman. These dudes, like, it's dudes out there like that, but it ain't him. It definitely ain't him.
Right. Because they're saying they're paying for women. You do what I say. I pay for your dinner. I pay for your shoes. You do what I say.
Right. Yeah. He had a really basic concept of how that masculine, feminine dance works. He had a really rudimentary skill set when it comes to that. I mean, there is the divine feminine and there is the divine masculine, and the way that they complement each other and the forward and retreat. But he wasn't on it. He wasn't on it at all. He didn't understand it. I don't even think the brother had seen it before.
No. I'm gonna go through these comments and then we're gonna jump to the next topic. Love Tucker said, is he mad because he's single or dominant, or single or dominant, as he said? G.I. Hurt says, oh hell no. Love Tucker says, I know he was mad because there was no one he could speak to. That's why it was to a camera. So, yeah, like, and the sad thing about it is, if you go through YouTube or the internet, it's a bunch of these dudes out here talking like this. And that's one of many reasons why the Real Shop Talk exists, is to give narrative that doesn't look so hateful. And human beings are not one way, so you have to allow for some kind of nuance in people's personalities instead of saying, I pay for this, so you must do what I say. And we're not robots, man. So anyway, G.I. Hurt says either he is struggling with his own masculinity or got played. Yeah, that's normally how it works. Let's keep it real. Men, we're not typically the most emotionally, like we don't handle stuff well, especially rejection. Somebody hurt us, it's a whole bunch of folks probably gonna pay for that in the wake of that. So to a very small extent, I get it, but what he's doing now isn't gonna get him where he needs to be. Because any woman that's gonna be in that household there's some women that want that. I'm not gonna lie. There's some women like it. They claim they do. That comes from a whole nother place too. But there's some women out there that will put up with it. But by and large, the type of woman that's gonna do that, he gonna be spending the rest of his life trying to find that in 2021. He in the wrong decade. Go ahead, Gunter Man.
Where's his friends? No, all joking aside. Like, where's his friends to tell him to stop, slowly roll, delete that? Once you put it out on the internet, it's out there forever, ever. Like, people will be able to go back years later after you turned your life around and say, this is you. This is what you said.
Especially if somebody shared it, then it's out of your control at that point. You can't delete it anymore. Now it's gone.
That's what he wanted. He wanted that.
But why would you want the likes for something like that? How does that bring you some type of gratification? Like, how?
Bro,
it doesn't. They see
out here. They will do whatever it takes to go viral.
Yeah, they see Kevin Samuels and all these other folks, and they like, maybe if I do it too, I'll get 100,000, subscribers or whatever. It's like it's toxic, but it's trending, right? So it's like it's trending to say, I'm masculine, and I'm like, you got to think about it. We're all of a certain age. In what decade were we walking around talking about I'm more masculine and I'm more dominant? We wasn't doing that. But now they got us get on the microphone and be like, yeah, so I'm the dominant one and I'm the masculine. We handled our business. Nobody's walking around saying this unless you're trying to put a show on. That's how I take it. Like, it doesn't, maybe I'm too old for that conversation, but it just doesn't resonate with me to walk around, I'm alpha, I'm dominant. I just feel like it's like John said, to me, it's mostly performative, but he's also hurt too. So I'm gonna go through these. Fiel says that boy just threw a tantrum. Absolutely. LaShawn says any woman that's about anything any woman that's about anything would walk right by him. He's the type of guy that would call us out our name for walking by, not realizing we are saving him from the verbal beatdown we could give. It wouldn't even be worth it. Yeah. BK Gaming said that's a no. Underlying unresolved issues. Tony Massey Cooks, sir.
Yeah, man. What up,
Y'all
baby?
believe me. He was here. He's here. Welcome, sir. We miss you, sir. Safe travels. I'm not sure where you are in your travels, but safe travels. Have fun. Get a tan. Do whatever you got to do, but have fun. BK Gaming says, could it be cultural? What you guys think? You think that's cultural?
Absolutely. That whole bravado is always cultural. It's
What
once
culture
again,
is that?
it's one of those cultural things that really don't serve you.
It's that manosphere culture. It's that
Let's not give them a culture. That's too much. They don't deserve a culture. Let's not do that.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way.
Let's not.
Let me see. Before we go to the next one. Fiel says, totally looking for someone to agree with them, stroke their ego. Yeah. And the funny thing about it, I don't know if it's funny or not, but this commentary isn't even for women, it's for other men. It's for other men to agree,
Right.
so that they can high five each other. So I'm gonna leave that there. So many things going on with that. The leader says, but it is culture. So it technically, yes. if we look at it like that, it is a culture that maybe we did, like, from the way I look at it is, it's probably always been there, but now we got all these cameras and lights and everybody's just doing the most. So next up, let me see here. We're gonna jump on this one right here. Tony Watts forwarded this to me, but it's worth talking about. I'll do the little whatever. It's a guy named Brother Polite, who is one of the financially more successful like Black power speakers out there, preaching about community and how Black people should thrive and all of these kind of things. And he just got arrested for something. So I'm going to let this play. Hopefully the volume is high enough. And if not, then I'll speak to it afterwards.
Something about this man never sat right with me. This is Brother Polite. He's currently in jail, and his bail was denied recently in the last few days because he raped his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter, allegedly. He took the girl as if he was taking her to some kind of party to talk about the relationship dynamic between her and her mother, and ended up giving her alcoholic drinks, possibly drugs, and he sexually assaulted her. They found 6 semen stains on her clothes when a rape kit was done at the hospital, and she had bruising around her mouth.
So I know the volume was probably a little low. You want to speak to it, Tony Watts, or you want me to go give them the recap? Because I know some people probably couldn't.
Let me run through this real quick. So all this is alleged. I think he's out. I haven't seen that he denied his bail, but I think he's out. He is one of the men that walk around and say that the white man forced Christianity on the Black man. He's also lately been doing some kind of cultural, financial thing that where he uses his finances to do certain things. I'm really pissed off, so just forgive me. So he sells courses on how to do what he does and how to be financially stable and all this other stuff. So there's a young man, I don't want to bring up his name, he died. And he made a very long, several hours of his How I Survived for Life. And the guy's story is such heartbreaking. And it applies to the young man we just missed, right? The one we just looked at. When you're looking for somebody to cling to, you look at people and you make them your guy. So this young man found Polite, who was supposed to be of the conscious community, and he said, "Okay, I want to be conscious. I want to be like Polite." So he calls him. He said, "Well, Polite, this, that, and the other." He tries to get he taught part of his mentorship program. Polite's mentorship program, according to the young man, cost $3,500. The young man lived in Hawaii, didn't have the money. So what he did was, his father died, and his father left him money. Him and his father were never close. So he said, "Now that I have this money, over $100,000, now I can, take this mentorship." He began reaching out to Polite, telling him how much money he had, telling him, this is all alleged, how much money he had. So Polite invited him to come out, and as you listen to the story, he just keeps giving this guy money, giving this guy money. And by the time he realized that he was being scammed, it was too late. So allegedly, this guy died of a heart attack and an asthma attack based on the stress he was going through because he couldn't get his money back. So then you hear about this rape allegation, and then you hear all of the other stories behind you. You guys, we really have to stop looking at people that are on these social media sites and they look successful, and we're chasing them without real receipts. We've gotta pay attention, man. We've gotta pay attention. And my heart says pray for the dude. that it comes out well on the other side, no matter how these allegations work out. What supposedly happened to this young lady? Tragic. I applaud her mother for following the steps that she had to follow. But I just want to let people out there know, male, female, don't believe what you see on these cameras, especially if they're not giving you real receipts of what they're doing. Like this is like the young man was paying for things and getting nothing in return, but Polite has a good tongue, so he kept giving him game to make him give him more. He was young, he was impressionable, and now he turns around and has nothing. He died with nothing. So, and on the other side of the rape allegations, man, here's my mindset. When you think you are something that you're not, and you want to be worshipped by having a harem of women around you, and you start playing with things because all your sexual urges and the drugs you take have taken over you, you will end up down this path. I'm gonna say what you say. I'm gonna land my plane right there. I'm a little pissed off.
I'm gonna jump in just to provide a slightly little bit more context to it, and then I'll say how I feel about it. So I know the volume wasn't high on this one, but this guy is I don't know if he titles it this, but he's like what I guess what you would call like a polygamist. Like he has like all these women or whatever, and claiming that he's trying to build community and all of this other kind of stuff. And one of his women has a 14-year-old daughter, and he coerced that daughter and lied to her to get her to a hotel. And then something happened in there. He told her that they were going to go to, where'd everybody go? Oh, they at this club. I'm going to take you to the club so we can meet them. And then he ends up taking her to a hotel like, oh, they're going to meet us at the hotel. And it's just him and her. And then, they got to the hotel and he gave her something to drink. And she kind of was, messed up, and he took advantage of that. Allegedly. So, they have the rape kit, and they have the semen all over her and all of it, the mouth bruises and all of this kind of stuff. So, so here's the thing, right? Allegedly. First and foremost, we have to be careful who we leave our kids around. And in this particular case, when we deal with people who have some kind of notoriety, sometimes we take our kind of defenses off, because them making this money automatically is supposed to make them trustworthy and safe. And this is why, what Tony Watts was saying, why we trust them to give them our money, because they're driving a Lamborghini, and we're like, well, they should be able to get me one too, so let me give them this money. They're using your money to buy the stuff, but you're not getting any value out of it. And so a lot of times we leave our kids with people, and I'm not just saying women and men, we leave our kids with people that we don't really know. We leave our kids with people in some cases where we see how they moving, and we just don't think it's going to happen to us. And that's the part that hurts, is I pass no judgment on the mom. I don't know how the scenario happened, and she acted. So in a lot of these cases, the parents don't even act in this way to be able to kind of protect their kid in these situations. So it's a tough thing, but we got to be careful. Like these sort of celebrities and these influencers, they human just like everybody else, and they could trend good and they can trend bad, and you really got to keep your eye open. This is sad. I hope whatever comes out of it, like Tony Watts said, we pray for everybody in this, but it's tough because it rings a little bit of, like the other guy who I won't name, who had some stuff with some underage people that was famous, and we leave our children with these people. So I'm gonna let somebody else talk because I can't.
Yeah, let me just bring it back to the parent, the mother. According to the stories that I've heard, the mother didn't want her to go. And because her mother was taking her time getting dressed, the daughter said, "Mom, we're just gonna go downstairs," allegedly. And once they got downstairs, people downstairs, allegedly, he said, "Look, your mother left already. She's gonna meet us at the club." We got to the club, wasn't there, allegedly. Then they went back to a hotel, allegedly. So here's the thing I want everybody to understand. This happened in February. He wasn't arrested in February, but what her mother did was she took her to a rape place, and then she took her to another consultant place to get her thoroughly checked out. Once they, gathered the semen and everything like that, then they put out a warrant for him to have his DNA checked. Then they arrested him in August. So based on that trail,
anybody else want to chime in? You can choose to pass on this one.
Yeah, this is too heart-wrenching because a 14-year-old girl, whatever the scenario is, whatever the lifestyle is, bottom line, whether say she's telling the truth or lying, her life is affected forever. Like, I don't know, like, how could you be so casual with that? I saw that Fiel talked about give people time to get to know you, for you to get to know them. So many of us here in America, and maybe even if it's a global thing, that want that get rich quick. So bad you want to get rich quick or to be tied to someone that has money so you are freed. Get rich quick, or you want to tie yourself to someone that has money so they, through their success, frees you up. And I understand, like, life can be difficult, but if you're hoping and putting at risk, if you're putting at risk your child for the hopes of money, for the hopes of wealth, I think that's a price you pay that's way more than any bit of money that they could ever provide you. I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah, I'm kind of so I know Polite is a Brooklyn guy, Brownsville, so I'm pretty sure y'all folks up in New York, y'all kind of got a better ear to the streets. But I think just with a situation like that, I could go into what Polite is about, who he is, this, that, and the third, what I agree, disagree with. But I think just with egregious acts like that, I think it's just a normal thing to just be in shock and abhor that type of behavior and, just kind of sit back. I think sometimes it's just not necessary to be having a whole lot of conversation about a tragedy like that. Like this isn't a moment where my conjecture about what happened or what it was is important. Prayers up to those families and those people that suffered.
And the one last thing I want to say about this is, even take yourself away from this situation. We have to be diligent in policing the behavior of the people that we're attached to. Not even the parents, the friends, the handlers, and all of these other people that are getting paid in these situations, not just this one. We have to man up. And I'm talking to men. We got to man up and check these dudes. Because it's nothing cute about this. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next thing here. Let's see, what do we have on a lighter note? Let's do this. This isn't a video, it's just a slide, but we're going to talk about compound living. And I'm going to tell you what that is, because this is something that it's probably not new, but it's trending. So what it is women, as they get older in age, they in this current dating market, they're seeing that it's almost impossible to find a good guy or a guy for them to settle down with. And so they're choosing to buy homes, raise kids with their girlfriends, and live in what they're calling like compound. They're living in a compound, like they maybe 2 or 3 of them, they're pulling their resources and they're saying, forget these men, we're going to live together. And we don't have to worry about dating them anymore because we're sufficient enough here. So this has been trending, on the social, Clubhouse and all these other platforms. And so I thought I would bring it up because the way that things are going out here, this is a real viable option for a lot of women, maybe even men at this point, because now we have this whole other thing of men walking away from, trying to do stuff too. So I just wanted everybody's kind of reaction or opinion about, I know I don't necessarily want to judge somebody who decides to do it, but what do you think that we have gotten to the point where people don't even want to fathom even just trying to even get together?
Yo, I gotta jump in there, man. I don't know if this is as widespread of a plague as you just made it sound. Like, you made this sound like every woman is doing this and there's compounds everywhere to be found. Like, let's hold up a little bit. Let's breathe.
No, but let me add some context. It can become real because there's people in droves deciding to just give up because they're giving up in droves. And if you're giving up, this may become something that's a viable option for people because people don't even want no parts of a relationship or a marriage anymore. That's the point I'm making.
It's important, but as a strategist, this is one of the things that I always consult about. You got to really play the numbers game and check your numbers based on reality. Do you have the actual evidence to base this on and say it's as widespread as you make it sound? So I'm just saying, let's be careful.
I don't know how widespread it is. Yeah, I'll take that back. But I'll say, let's say it's 100 women in the whole world, right? And we're talking about it today. Do we think that this type of thinking could become a thing? Because we do know this. We do know that if you talk to somebody, a lot of 25-year-olds and 20-year-olds, and you ask them about marriage, they really don't give a damn.
Well, I will say this. The compound idea is great. Group economics is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
The I give up on dating and marriage is a personal opinion. I think it could potentially be flawed as a concept to share amongst people as a valid way of life. It's a personal decision based on experiences. The compound part, though, I think, that's right. You hear me talking and you're excited. I think the compound part, there's some value to that. But yeah, I'm with you, Derek. I don't believe that it's smart to approach it in that way because now you've got financial ties with people and somebody can have a change of heart. And that message. First off, why are you dating if the goal of dating is, to be financially taken care of, but you want somebody to love you? Like, that's the part that's kind of messing with me. Like, we gonna get together, we can do it on our own, so we don't need men. Like, what? Like, huh? That's the part that's messing with me. So, yeah, nah.
The hurt is deep. The hurt out here is deep. And what's scary, and I'm glad John brought up about the numbers game. What's scary for me is if women are starting to think like this, there's already a community of men called incels that don't want relationships either. They would like them, but they don't know how to get to them. So now all women are certain bags or certain this, that, and the other. They basically sound like the dude we played 3 videos ago. They sound like him, and they have a whole community. And KS he draws them, and the whole manosphere draws them in, and people actually make fun of them. They call them incels. And I think what do you remember what the acronym is for?
Incel means involuntary celibate. So it's a guy who has a ridiculous time just trying to mate with a woman or even sleep with a woman. Like they can't, for whatever reason, they're unattractive to most women. So they call them involuntary celibate because they're not choosing to be celibate. They're celibate because whatever the reason is. And so in the manosphere, the red pill community, these are the men that they're like, ha ha ha, you're not an alpha, you're an incel. You can't even, whatever. So that's where it comes from.
So my idea is if there's a community of them, and they decide to make their own compound, like outside of the internet and playing video games, then I can see that happening. But my real thought is this: if you can financially put together a compound with your girls, right, and the whole goal of a relationship, like John said, is to build something. You can't find no man. Like what pool, what shallow pool are you swimming in that you can't find no man that agrees with you that wants to do that? Like,
let's clarify something because I'm looking at the
right here
comments.
on the panel. So there's two. They both got on white shirts. There's two great single men right there that are doing amazing things and that would help you build whatever you're building. So when I hear stuff like this, I'm like, I don't understand. I would really like to sit down and go and have talks with them. So like, where are you dating? Like, what are you looking for?
Nobody asked you for that. No, but let's clarify. Compound. They're not roommates. They're buying a considerable size of land.
Correct.
And like having their own wing to this. So it's not like three
Right.
women in a 4-bedroom apartment. But now
Right.
I'm just seeing some of the comments. How do they have company? There, it's a sizable. When they talk about a compound, it's a sizable piece. You know, they buy a real, considerable piece of real estate, and they build some serious property on it. So
Right.
again, that group economics part, I'm for that. But yeah, the reason behind it, I'm against.
Right.
Got to man.
Right. With life being all about connections, all about relationships, what have you been through in the past that you believe is going to be a part of your future? Where have you stopped believing for better days ahead? Where have you gotten to the place in your heart and in your habit where you no longer expect something good, something connecting, something just meant for you in your heart and pleasing to your body and mind? And how it's almost like you're saying, well, you know what? In the lack of a better term, but we know the phrase, misery loves comfort. Company loves company. You know, the idea of this is where I am, so why don't I find a bunch of other people who are the same place as me and we just build something? Because we know that, like I shared before in other teachings, that the Latin and Black women they're the ones who are growing businesses, dominating faster than men. You know, across America, the Latino woman is a woman who has started more businesses over the last 10 years than any other race of people here in America. So if they go in with the mindset, like, I don't need you for finances, but now you have gotten to a place where you don't even need them for a good conversation, for good company, for a connection greater than just raising your children or a good friendship, that spiritual man and woman guidance and blind spots that you could never get from another woman's perspective. You're missing out on all that life and living. I think you've gotten to the place where you've just given up in a place that you want more, but you're not expecting more anymore. You're no longer expecting something good to come your way. And that's not a good place, especially if you have kids, because your kids are looking at you now. You're the example. Is this what I'm supposed to do as a woman? Is this what I'm supposed to do and supposed to expect from a woman in my life? Like, you're examples. You're going to be the template for those who are following behind you. And if your heart's not believing for greatness, for better days, you're teaching your kids something. And what you're teaching them can't be good, because it's not about money. Money doesn't make you happy. Having all these things, these extra things, that doesn't make you happy. It just doesn't. It's close relationships, making the world a better place, and self-growth. They have given up on two of those things. Two of the things that make for happiness: self-growth and close bond relationships. That's my take.
Yeah, but if money don't make you happy, you could give me some of yours now.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm messing with you.
no, but the statement is the statement is actually true.
No, it
because
is.
money
It
does
is.
make situations better, but as far
Oh,
as
man,
the
I'm
inner
just
joy,
teasing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I get what you're
Oh.
saying. Definitely.
You spot on. I'm teasing. I think all of the fellas would agree, with the life coaching and the relationship coaching backgrounds. You okay, I don't want to say you can't. People do it all the time. It is not wise to make foundational decisions from a place of emotional distress. And when you look at compound living because we don't need men, or if men did it because we don't need women, or you an incel, whatever these reasons are, these are people that are making huge decisions that are going to have, it's going to have, it's going to reverb through their life for a long time, through their legacy, through generations, and it's coming from a place of hurt. And you should not build your foundation on hurt and emotional stress and duress and all that. So I think that's really the flaw in the logic, is that they're hurt. And when we've looked at all of this stuff, a lot of it is coming from a place of hurt, and we know hurt people hurt people. So,
and I do. Oh, you want to say?
I was going to say, put up Fiel's comment, because that's a good thing. If we're building community, isn't it the community supposed to be about getting to that next place? What's next? The better place?
Yeah.
You're building a community to stay still?
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to make about this is, and I know you see it a lot too, Rick, and what you do, and maybe Tony, the coaches, you find women who say, I'm done forever. And they'll be like 35. And they're like, no, it will never happen. Because there's no such thing as a guy and it comes from a place of hurt. I hear it so much that it makes my ears bleed. Like, I'm like, so you're done forever. And they're like, yep, I'm good. Don't need them because I don't want to. And and to the other side of this, though, I have coached a few women through this to let them know that you don't really hate men. You just hate the ones that you were with, or maybe that's in your little city that you met at the bar. But all of us, there's no such thing as one that might be not a super toxic narcissist, whatever these names. And they're like, nope, they're all like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And so it's to me, and I know I'm just one guy, it's starting to happen more. And you have these guys who, there's another group of these men called MGTOW, men going their own way, and they like, I'm done. Like, if I got to do all of this to have somebody, I don't even want it, so I'm gonna be good by myself. There's no connection when everybody's going like this.
There's no unity.
Yeah. And that's why I love being a part of this show in our own individual brands, is because we all speak to the human condition. Like, we're not put here to be everybody in their little separate. And it just, I don't know. I have my own reservations about it, because I feel like to John Singletary's point, if you're making the decision to compound live because you're trying to, start to grow a community, and you trust these people, and you're putting your money together, and we're going to buy one house, and then we're going to buy another house, and then we're going, cool. But if you're saying I'm only doing it because I wish I could be with a man, however, there's 0 men on the planet Earth that could ever fit the crap. Now the conversation starts to become different. So I would say this, man, if you really got to look at, like, we all have to look at ourselves when we start saying these things about making these absolutes, no such thing as, then when you start speaking in absolutes, you really got to look at yourself first after that, after you make that statement. All men, all women, there's no such thing as a good, I see this stuff every day. No such, they have rooms on Clubhouse with like 500 people. No such thing as a good man. And every woman in there is like, yeah, you're right, girl. We don't need them. We about to divest and go to another race. And we about to do, it's all over. And I'm not saying just women, the men groups. Matter of fact, that's a good segue. Let's segue into the last topic we're going to do today. This is a YouTube podcast and I assume it's an audio podcast as well called Fresh and Fit. And they are, and I'll just put the quick slide up. They are, let me take this this comment off. Where is it? They are YouTubers, and they used to have over 400 and something thousand subscribers, and they are the alpha male red pill guys. They want to teach you how to, let me take this off. They want to teach you how to get women, and they have courses and they do all of these different things to help men, you know, get women, sleep with women, all this other stuff, you know, and they speak sometimes like the first video that we had. And what they do is this is how these people in this arena, what they do. And this is not a new tactic. They'll put some things that are true and make sense. Like they do videos on fitness. They'll do videos on how to grow your business. And then they'll keep that part of their business over here, and then the misogyny and the I'm the dominant and all of that stuff over here. So now it's like you can't say that the brand is a horrible brand because that's the trick. Right? We've seen these tricks before. You put a little bit of truth in there, you get people to come in, and then all the toxic stuff you surround it, and then you'll say, "But look at the other stuff we did." So this duo, they get a lot of attention, and so they have a segment that they do at night, and they bring on these women that they find, you know, from wherever, OnlyFans and all this other kind of stuff, and they kind of treat them like crap, and they do all of this stuff. Well, their brand is, we're the macho alpha males. We get any woman we want, blah, 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 blah. And now it comes out that, you know, the main guy on there that talks the most stuff, he's paying women to sleep with him. So this goes against his brand of I can get every woman. He's also, you know, inviting women to come on the show. And then he's sending them messages saying, you cannot come on the show unless you sleep with me. So I don't really deal with anybody who, you know, if you want this clout, you have to sleep with me, right? This is not new. It's not new. People have been doing this forever, but the women or women that they were doing this with, you know, we live in the era of screenshots and recording it. So all of this evidence and the receipts are coming up, and they just lost like 20,000 or 25,000.
67,000.
Huh?
67,000.
Yeah.
Good.
That's literally
Good.
within like a week. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to piggyback on that, Tony. I know you've been following it too.
Yeah. So, you know, to do what we do, we got to peek into the manosphere and see what's going on in there. And I was pretty surprised that this particular duo came at a team that I like called Abba and Preach. They have a pretty solid YouTube channel for what they do. So supposedly Abba and Preach was on their show, or Abba was on their show, and they pointed out some things that they were doing, saying on their show that they didn't add up. So when Abba and Preach got back to their show, they were critiquing them. They weren't trying to bring them down. They weren't trying to be mean to them. They were critiquing them, like, hey, you know, this, that, and the other. So Fresh and whatever, they come back and they start yelling and screaming. I wish you had that video. They're yelling and screaming, we better than you. We get more girls than you. Like the whole conversation was like they were 15, 16 years old. And at one point they're talking about Preacher's wife, that she's ugly, she's this, she's that. If you guys want to fight, we'll fight you. It was just so insane for men that's supposed to be alpha men to have this type of attitude. So one of the guys, and I'll end right here to give you the kind of thing. So they also give courses to the incels on how to get women. So his story was this, and Rick, you're gonna listen carefully, and everybody's gonna laugh. This is a laugh, everybody. He's in a club. They're in Miami. He's in a club. An NBA player comes to him. It's like, yo, man, what's up? You know, where's the hot parties at? So he turns around to the dude and tells him the basic places on the strip that he could go that the hot parties is at. He go, yo, so let me get you. The NBA player goes, let me get your Instagram. He goes to his Instagram and he says, oh, you follow her? Oh, yeah, I hit her. Oh, I hit her too. Like, so the NBA player is sucking up to him. And then goes, hey, dude, I have a mansion party tomorrow. Won't you come to my mansion party? So he goes to the mansion party. He gets, supposedly the guy tells him, the NBA player, it's 45 girls to 5 guys. And I'm just throwing out numbers. And he goes, pick anyone you want. He picks the 3 he wants. He goes into the room. He gets nervous. Oh, this is too much for me. He goes back. He taps each one of them. And he turns around to the camera and says, see, I can show you how to get 3 girls in one night too. The story makes no sense. If I'm an NBA player, why am I asking you where the hot spots are? You're just a YouTuber. Why am I asking you where the hot spots are? Why, when I get you in a situation where there's X amount of women and X amount of men, you don't know what's going on? You don't understand that environment that you're in. But you're selling courses on how to get women. Now, one of the things he said about his course that I found very interesting, he said it's a numbers game. If you DM 100 women, at least 10 will talk to you. Set up a date so you can turn around and get 3. I was like, how does that make sense? That's not real. But there are people out there that listen to that type of stuff because they have the numbers, because they're toxic when they talk to these women that come on. So those men think that that's something. But when you listen to the story, you go, dude, you're lying. Like, why are you lying? And that was the whole premise of the argument between them and Preacher's team, is that you are not who you say you are. Because when you're dealing with somebody of internet status that can look up something and find out who you are, especially get receipts, Preach had receipts on them everywhere. Holding little teddy bears, being real docile. Like, no, don't do that. You're not the tough guy that you say you are. And Preaching and Abba put them out there for who they are. The one video that I think that is really telling is when they're talking about Kevin Samuels. Them and Kevin Samuels are supposed to do a show together. Kevin Samuels' show is at 10. I guess their show is at 10. And they put their show back or whatever. And they was like, yo, Kevin, they were basically begging Kevin to get on their show. We tried to make it happen. Look, here's the receipts. Look, I text him, see what he's reading on the screen. I'm going, what? If I try to get with John and John turns me down, he has a huge platform. He turns me down 2 times. I sent him texts. I'm not getting on the line and go, hey, I could have had John, but he doesn't answer my text back. Who does that? What alpha male does that? Help me out.
Yo, that was a lot of garbage, man. And I'm stealing this from Gunner Man. This is something I've heard him say plenty of times. But I mean, these dudes are missing it, man. Like, oh, I hit that. What? Like, what happened to? Like, they're missing how exhilarating it is for a woman to want to be with you. Like, and to really just take it back, it's all of this. Let me show you how to do this. All of this is transactional and it's treating symptoms. And if they worried more about getting people to a place of being their authentic self, loving themselves in an authentic and healthy way, and really doing that work on self, the energy that you put out in the universe, when you have done the healing, when you're doing the work and you're being honest and authentic, that brings what you need out of the world, not a course on how to catch women or 100 DMs. So yeah. So these dudes don't deserve to get to drive the conversation, in my opinion. That's just where I stand on it.
It makes me think of the situation where cops will patrol an area. They'll patrol an area and see drug dealers all over the place. They won't arrest the drug dealers because they're a dime a dozen. There's too many going back. Head honchos back. What they'll do is they will arrest the buyers. Catch what I'm saying? We're filled in a society where the buyers are not healed. We're filled in a society where people are longing for something different than what their life is showing them. They are seeking after these answers from empty places. They're looking for superficial answers to bullet holes. The Band-Aids over bullet holes. What we're doing as life coaches, we're teaching people how to find the joy of everyday living, not simply maybe in God, because we know that He is the source of joy and rejoicing, but it's to find the joy that comes in everyday thankfulness. You know, we forget that we're in America and we don't think about the grand picture of how much we have access to just from living here. But it's norm, so we don't think about it. You know, we get up in water, we hit the light switch. You know, we get up in the morning, we turn on the water, and we don't think that there's millions of people across the planet that don't have running water inside their house, nor electricity. But yet we don't think that we have everything that we need. Yeah, you know, God talks about being your sufficiency in all things. So if you believe in your higher power, He's saying that I have all your needs met, maybe not all your wants. Because some of your wants are things that you don't even want if I were to give it to you. So the question is what? How do we stop the buyers from going to the drug dealers, doing what we do here at the Real Shop Talk? We're setting up an environment where people can find the value inside themselves, where they can find the love of themselves and learn how to operate from a place of truth to get the deep desires of our heart met. Because you have to understand that you as an individual are powerful enough. You are enough, strong enough to take on the ways of the world that comes at you. And then you build a community to back yourself up. These individuals are just that, individuals. They are just wide open targets for the adversary. But if they're so steep in darkness, the adversary don't even have to mess with them, because they're just going to keep chasing their tail, and never getting anywhere. When we build a community, in our community, we're reminding people, men and women, that you can do. And if you don't have the example at home or from your mom and dad or your guardian, look to your left and look to your right. Surround yourself with people that have been living it. And then glean from them. Ask questions to them. You know, one of the hardest things the hardest things for people that constantly fail to do is people they don't ask. The hardest thing for people who constantly fail is those are the same people who don't ask. Can you show me? Can you lead me? Can you teach me? Can you support me? Can you encourage me? Can you guide me, direct me? So much of that is lost. When you can't do, surround yourself with people that can do, but do it in a way, they are doing it in a way that breathes life and joy and peace, not this quick fix. Let me get that high. Because the cops are not even going to go after you. They're going to leave those drug dealers alone. They're not going after the drug dealers. They're going after you. They're taking you out. They're deterring you from getting there. So what are you going to do if you're in a situation where you feel you are less than? Reach out. And as Derek Jones said, I think it was in last week at my show, you don't have an excuse nowadays with social media and with thousands of people online making resources available to you and not costing you pretty much nothing. They're giving you ways to see yourself, perspectives on how to redirect your thoughts towards the things that you really want, the things that are going to meet your need, and seeing the power within you and how you can do so much with what you have inside you. My thoughts.
Real quick, I think one of the problems is what we talked about earlier. If somebody is continuously listening to these, as Derek said, if someone's continually listening to these podcasts, these shows that continue saying men are no good, women are no good, and that's all you're listening to. That's what's all you consume. You'll never be able to see in front of your face. Everything becomes fatal. So what I would suggest is to do this. Go down your timeline on all your social media. If it's all negative or if it's all somebody's not good enough or you're not good enough, delete it for, let's say, for 21 days. Block everybody and just follow all positive, reassuring stuff. That's all. Just follow that and watch how your entire mindset shifts to see yourself differently. Because if you think everybody else is the problem, you'll never stop to say, where's my blind spots? Where's my problem? Where am I falling short? How do I fix me? Because you're too busy fixated on all women suck. So if that's what you feel, you'll never be able to have a conversation with a woman because in the back of your mind, you already have plotted out where this thing is going to go. She's going to cheat on me. I'm not good enough. I don't have this enough. I'm not good enough here. I'll never make enough money. I'll never do this. I'll never do that. You have to take all that off the table and be your, like Rick said, you have to be your authentic self and go from there. Because once you're your authentic self and somebody else sees that, what you think are shortcomings, somebody's not even seeing. They're not even looking at it. They're going to help you fix that thing out. So I think that's one of the things that we come together to do here is we're trying to bring a balance to the force, right? To the what do they call it? Not the force. What is it? What is the other opposite side of the force? You know what I mean? The evil side of the force. We're trying to bring a balance to that whole thing. Huh?
The dark side.
Yeah, we're trying to bring some light to the dark side of the force because people are out here really losing their mind. When I hear there's a group called incels, and they are a massive group of men who feel like they can't get a woman. They feel like there's nothing they can do to get a woman. And the other group that Derek brought up, I forgot the acronym.
The MGTOW, men going their own way.
Right. So those guys don't want to be involved anymore because they think all I am is a dollar. All I am is a provider. No one cares about my emotions. No one cares about my feelings. If you really feel that way, you need to unplug. I tell you the truth. You need to just cut out social media altogether for about a month. Just shut it down. Go see a therapist. Sit down with somebody. Work your stuff out and start all over again because that ain't it. That ain't it. And we're getting further apart every day with this nonsense.
So I'm gonna go through a few of the comments, then I'll say what my comment is to this, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But I don't think I'm going all the way back. G.I. Hurt says it's like the Napoleon complex. You are lacking in something, so you tend to overcompensate in hopes of intimidating others. That's exactly what it is. Talk to Q says some dudes can't function without attention from other dudes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I was saying way earlier in the conversation. That first guy, he was talking to other dudes. Like, I'm gonna say my comment after this. It'll make sense. I heard says sad thing is people watch this trash and listen to it, so it encourages them, unfortunately. Okay, so here's my take, and it's kind of a piggyback a little bit to what everybody said, but the reason why we bring up these type of people on the show every now and then, Kevin Samuels or Fresh and Fit, even what's the guy in the beginning, Brother Polite, and all these different people, right? It's not to bash, it's not to say we're better than, it's to let people know that not only is this information out there, but it's way more popular than we would like to expect. And if we are community driven, if we want to push a community driven concept, there's a reason why, and this is the point I want to make, there's a reason why people are gravitating towards this in the millions, men and women. not hundreds, not thousands. You like if you go on these shows every night, there's like 20, 30,000 people on there watching it, right? So it's almost kind of like how a lot of times when people join gangs, it's not because they want to gangbang, it's because they're looking for leadership, right? And so again, if these people are having 1 million subscribers on YouTube and all of these other things, whether we like to say it or not, it's not going to look like Martin Luther King, but these people are now leading very big segments of our population. And it's almost training like, and I know I'm dating myself, but it's almost like the Stepford Wives, right? You have a lot of men, and this is a man, male-driven show, a lot of men that will watch the YouTube video and then go out on the streets and mimic everything that they've heard verbatim, talking points. They'll treat the women the way that they heard. This is damaging to our community, and that's why we wanted to bring this up today, because not just for women to hear, but for men that watch the show to really see that. And I'll say this: it's not about saying that we're right and they're wrong. It's about saying that there's more than one perspective, and if that perspective is leading to our community splitting apart, even if it's just 1 million people, that's enough for me to say it's a problem. I want people to understand that what we do here, to Tony Watt's point, we want to build community. We can't build community if nobody want to get together. You got MGTOWs over here. You got women doing compound living over here. Where the babies coming from? Like, it's elementary science, but it takes two. I mean, maybe we're going to develop into a society. Everybody's born in a test tube one day. I don't know. But right now, we got to do it the old way, right? Somehow, some way. I don't want to see it go that way. But, I just feel like if we don't have these conversations, if we don't start treating each other better, that's what it's going to end up looking like. Because there's no, when you have 1 million subscribers, there's a lot of people that think what you're saying is gospel, literal gospel. And I hate to see so many people indoctrinated in this way that when they speak, it doesn't even sound like it's them. It sounds like the person they were listening to on the thing. And all men and women. So that's what I wanted to make that point, because I didn't want people to feel like we had a show and we're attacking this person. This is all perspective and context. This is life now. Like, a lot of us are like of a certain generation. That's what they're doing. And we have to give people, if we want to see it go slightly different, because we can't, I'm always like saying that, I don't want to be the old guy saying our way is better, but there has to be some other narrative there to kind of balance it out, or else everything just goes like this. That's why I was saying earlier in the show, you have 20-year-olds saying, I will never want to mate. I don't ever want to have kids with anybody because it's all toxic, because that's all I saw when I was growing up. But how do we combat that unless we start really respecting each other and getting together and really building a community? So I'm gonna land my plane there. These comments. G.I. Hurt says, we need to start holding one another accountable. G.I. Hurt says they buy sperm now, Derek. Yeah, I know they do. I know they got to go to the sperm bank and all that. And I know people do it for different reasons, but I'm team old-fashioned way. Tashira says we're in a generation of moistness. Tashira says my son is 27. It says he doesn't want kids. That's my point. We can give up on our younger generations, or we can fight for them. We have a choice. We have a choice. And I think that I speak for all the gentlemen here. We wouldn't be here if we didn't care about y'all. So whether you're old, young, whatever it is. We care about all of y'all, and we're going to keep doing this until the wheels fall off, because we have to show people better by our own community, and hopefully this community grows exponentially and people really get the message that we want to build together, men and women. So let me get a last couple comments, and then we're going to wrap it up and get some final thoughts from everybody and get out of here. Fiel says, always trying to do the most for sure. Tashira says, I want to do it the old-fashioned way too. So I'm gonna go around the room. Gunter Man, any final thoughts, and tell people how to find you, and we're gonna wrap it up.
You brought up a good point regarding why we do what we do, why we go and check out these trending things. Because you know me, I find very little value in talking about these topics. But you made some really great points about if it is something that's pushing the narrative in a particular direction, if you are unaware of the pushing and the direction it's going, how do you combat that? How do you combat that? Good point. Very good point. So now, from now on, I will definitely start to see which way the waves are going. Because if I'm going to build a community, I want to make sure that I can start developing specific things to combat those negative narratives. So definitely. Well, guys, thank you. I appreciate you guys for always showing up. You know, I'm not familiar with a lot of these trending things, so I can't bring all the crazy energy that I normally bring, but you know it's in me. You know it's in me. But on the same note, I appreciate your ears. You know, every single week you guys are showing up and showing out and giving your voice, lending your ears and your thoughts to us, and allowing us to kind of build this, to know that we have a community to share our thoughts with. And it does truly do make a difference. On Thursday, I will have the one and only Tashira Talks on my show, on the Gunter Man Show, Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So you know you're in for a good time that night, because she definitely has that energy. She has an amazing story as well. So join in, come and be a part of it, and glean from both of us sharing our stories, and see where you can take bits and pieces of our stories and implement it to your lives to see new successes. So good night, everybody. John, it's you.
Almost got lost. Couldn't find the mute button. All right. Hey, fellas. Well, y'all go to realshoptalk.net. Fellas, show them your shirts. Big up the shirt. Show them the shirt. Y'all have a good night. That's all I got.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like, share. Let's get these YouTube numbers up. We are trying to do this on a bigger scale so we can reach more people. The more people we can reach, the more of this nonsense we can cut into and start building these communities that we want to build. Because to Derek's point, I didn't want to bring up false numbers. I had to look it up real quick. Last year, in spite of the pandemic, the U.S. birth rate dropped another 4%. The U.S. birth rate has been dropping since 2016, continuously. And there's more millennials saying and younger folks saying that they want to have kids. And you know, we are destroying ourselves from within. And we're here to help you guys go within and understand that you need community. No man is an island. You can't shut yourself off. Please don't do that. And we're here to show you how not to do that. As another beacon of light, my new friend, Gina Hurt. Gina, don't smack me, girl. I'm sorry. Jennifer Hurt, what she did is she reached out to me, and we came up with a show called Monday Wake Up. So it'd be a 6 o'clock in the morning show, straight inspirational, 30 to 45 minutes of how you plan your day, what you're looking at, what your goals are. We're gonna do these goals together. We're gonna do things together. We're gonna hold ourselves accountable as a community. Everybody on this panel, including Tony, that's not here. Enjoy your trip, brother. Has already been booked for the year. We're booked out to December already. As far as shows are concerned, just stay tuned. Follow me. Go to realshoptalk.net, and you'll be able to see us. Or come to follow me on Instagram. I am Tony A. Watts. I am Tony A. Watts on Instagram. You'll see me post some stuff. That's going to be pretty exciting because, again, the reason why we're here is we have to build the village. The village has to be rebuilt. And if it starts with us five and the people who come here every Monday to support us, we love you guys. And we're going to keep doing this until we make it happen. I appreciate you guys, and good night.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Make sure everyone go to realshoptalk.net and go to that YouTube page, hit subscribe, click the bell. Basically, what you want to do when you go to this page is click on everything. That way you're covered. Click everything. Click all our profiles. Click the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram. We're everywhere. But the YouTube, to Tony Watts' point, we want to grow the YouTube page so we can really have a greater impact on the community, on the people that would watch us. And we want to keep this thing pushing, and we can't do it without you. Thank you guys for the comments. Thank you for you guys who keep coming back every week. We love you guys. I can't say that enough. And the thing about it is, Tony Watts, go ahead.
I will put a challenge out to the team. The first person who helps us, what email address should we use for this? Who helps us get to 150 gets a free shirt, hoodie, or T-shirt. Whoever helps us get to 150. So if you recommend people, say, hey, I recommend blah, blah, blah. They signed up. We'll figure out how to figure that whole thing out. And, we got T-shirt. We'll do a T-shirt. We'll do some type of giveaway. We're trying to get these numbers up. So let's go.
Hold on one second. Somebody talk. Give me like 2 seconds.
How are we gonna know who helped us get the most people? How are we gonna track that?
The brain up there, there's an algorithm that does that. There's an algorithm out there that can figure out who's recommending people and stuff like that. I'll talk to the big brain up there. I'll talk to NASA. We'll figure it out.
We'll talk about it amongst ourselves, and we'll make a larger announcement as to how we're going to do it so that we can track it. But there's several ways we can do it, but I'll figure that out. So again, guys,
before we go, you guys have to check out the Gun to Man show from last Thursday, where we had Derek Jones from a Relationship Gumbo on my show. Yo, that is a show to check out. He dropped some serious gems all throughout. And we didn't do that too long either, right? That was maybe like an hour and 20 minutes long show. So please go to Soapbox Stand Up and Speak. You see right there, Soapbox Stand Up and Speak on Instagram, and go back and watch that show and then share it if you love bits and pieces of it, because people have been impacted by it. They have had huge aha moments from that show. Derek Jones, the truth.
Thank you, sir.
Well, let's also help out the dude over here, because Derek was on his show, and his show.
I don't need your help.
Okay.
I need your help. I know charity case. Let's help him out. Let's
get it, Captain America.
I don't need your help.
Beep, 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 beep.
It's alpaca. You don't rub it, you blot that.
There are no self-made millionaires, John. No self-made millionaires. We all need each other.
So I'm going to say it. Help myself podcast. Derek was on there killing it again.
Thank you. Yeah,
he was on one last week. He killed it. He got up and killed it from Sunday to Sunday. Salute to you, brother.
Yeah,
Salute.
Again, I appreciate everyone, everything. I appreciate you guys for having me on your platforms, and we're gonna keep doing this thing bigger and better, man. We're gonna celebrate each other. We're gonna do what we gotta do to support each other, and we're building a true bond with not just the Shop Talk crew, but everybody that's attached to us. These are some real solid people, and like I said, we all needed this, and it's happening organically, and the people that are following us, the people that will follow us, the replay viewers, and everybody that comes every week. This is a real thing, and I know y'all feel it. So keep coming back, and we're going to keep giving you value and serving you. So I'm going to leave that there. If anybody don't have anything else, we're going to wrap it up. Y'all have
Take care, guys. Night. I got to go. I got a client waiting for me.
Stay safe. That's right. Get that client in. All right, guys, we're out of here. Y'all have a safe evening and a safe rest of the week.
Tony Massey!